The long-awaited trial of Caitlyn Armstrong has finally arrived. If you're unfamiliar with the background story, stay tuned for a recap. How does hot yoga turn so cold?
Authorities allege Caitlyn Armstrong used a fitness app to track Olympic hopeful Mo Wilson to an apartment in Austin. And they say she murdered Wilson, then fled the country, got caught, and later tried to flee again.
After 6 weeks on the run, tonight the search is over for murder suspect and fugitive Caitlyn Armstrong. U.S. Marshals announcing Armstrong is now in custody. Costa Rican authorities seen in this video holding Armstrong as she awaits deportation to the United States.
This morning, Caitlyn Armstrong on trial for the murder of 25-year-old cyclist Moriah Mo Wilson, shot to death in May of 2022.
Wilson was well known in the cycling community. She was staying with a friend in the Austin area ahead of a race in Hico. Wilson was found unconscious in an East Austin home on May 11th. Now investigators say suspect wanted in the connection of her murder is Caitlyn Marie Armstrong. U.S. Marshals say she was a yoga teacher.
Today's episode explores the tragic end of Moriah Wilson, a rising cycling star whose life was cut short by a senseless act of jealousy, revenge, and violence. On August 1st, 2021, Moriah Mo Wilson races across a Vermont landscape, a vision of grit and grace. Her family watches, their hearts swelling with pride at her determination despite setbacks and fierce competition. The love triangle between the suspected murderer, Caitlyn Armstrong, Colin Strickland, and the victim, Mo Wilson. The fates of all three coalesce in a tragic way. Mo's competitive spirit soared as she scored victory after victory, her athletic prowess bringing her closer to the inner circle of cycling's elite.
First race of the year, who knows what could happen?
Agreed.
Yeah. So
I'm
my eyes are on everyone.
Moriah Wilson, as she is snaking through into the finish. This is Moriah Wilson.
It was here that she met Colin Strickland, Caitlyn's partner. Armstrong, aware of the relationship forming between Colin and Mo, grew visibly frustrated at the fraternizing after races. At one point, Caitlyn called Mo and warned her to stay away from Colin from an unknown number. Mo returns to Austin, the city that would become the backdrop to an unthinkable crime. May 12th, a date that will forever haunt the Wilson family, as police deliver the devastating news. Their daughter and little sister, Mo, has been murdered.
At 9:15 p.m. here in Austin, Texas, the last thing Mo did on this earth was scream in terror.
And you didn't hear about any camera footage showing Caitlyn Armstrong at the scene of this shooting. And you heard opening statements about all the cameras that were in the immediate vicinity of the scene of that shooting. Not one captures Caitlyn Armstrong at that scene. You did not hear about any direct evidence showing Caitlyn Armstrong is responsible for this crime, because there isn't any.
In a desperate bid to evade capture, Armstrong sells her vehicle, flees to New York, and then to Costa Rica using a false identity, leaving a trail of deceit spanning continents. Costa Rica, typically known for its serene beauty, now finds itself entangled in the aftermath of a high-stakes manhunt.
After you kill Miss Wilson,
Caitlyn's days on the run are numbered as the law closes in. Authorities in Costa Rica search their records for her date of entry under her real name. When authorities cannot locate a date of entry under her real name, she admits to using a false identity to enter Costa Rica. She is extradited back to the USA for persecution. Once returned to the USA, she flees while detained. After a brief foot pursuit, she was retrieved a second time. The Wilsons' world shatters. As they grapple with the reality of their daughter's death, the community reels from the blow. The tragedy deepens as we uncover the events leading up to that horrendous evening. Mo, favored to win yet another race, met an untimely end in her friend's apartment, a crime scene that disrupts the safety and camaraderie of the cycling world. The investigation zeroes in on Colin Strickland, Mo's former romantic interest, and Caitlyn Armstrong, the woman behind the wheel of a dark SUV, seen surveilling Mo's last known location via a fitness app that had been tracking Mo's training route. With dyed hair and a bandaged nose, Armstrong's facade crumbles under the weight of heavy evidence. The cycling community mourns, grappling with the loss of Moriah Mo Wilson. She was more than her final headlines. She was a beacon of joy and a fierce competitor. Thanks again for joining us on this episode of True Crime Producer. I'm your host, Chantal Biancardi. I'll see you next time.